This is Ralph Sass, and this is a continuation of the quiz for Chapter 10, and I am going to begin this with question number 7. If you want to see questions 1 through 6, please see the earlier video. And here I'm looking for an overhead rate variance. Okay, I'm looking for an overhead rate variance. So I'm going to be measuring the actual quantity, actual price. Looking for the right-hand side here, actual quantity, actual price. And I'm going to be comparing that to the actual quantity and the standard price. So I'm looking for a rate variance. Okay. So, and this is for overhead. Okay. So the actual variable overhead was 6,688. So the actual is 6,688. Really no need for calculations there. They base this on direct labor hours. So actual production, the actual quantity is 5,100 hours, or pardon me, 5,100 units. Each of those units took 0.4 of an hour. So I've got 5,100 times 0.4, which is 2,040. Let's make sure here. I've got, oh, the actual quantity. They told us that. I'm sorry. The actual quantity of hours they worked was 2,090. So the actual quantity of hours worked was 2,090. Didn't need to figure it out. Sorry about that. And the rate is $3 per hour. So I take the 2,090 times the $3, and I get 6,270. Okay. So they spent 6,688. They should have spent for that quantity of hours 6,270. So they spent more than they should have. So that is unfavorable. So I'm starting off with unfavorable. And the difference between 6,688 and 6,270 is $418. And so I have a $418 unfavorable variance. So it's $418 and it is unfavorable. Moving on to the next question. The next question is question number 8. And for question number 8, I am looking for a efficiency variance. So I'm looking for a quantity variance. So I'm looking for the right-hand side. So I'm going to be comparing standard quantity and standard price to actual quantity and standard price. And I'm going to be looking for labor. So I'm going to be looking for labor rates here. And the standard quantity to, it should take $2 per unit. And we produced 600 units. So we've got $2 a unit, or pardon me, 2 hours per unit, 600 units. So my standard quantity is 1,200 units. My rate per hour is $8 an hour, so I have 1,200 times 800, which is 9,600. My standard price is still $8. The question is how many hours did I actually use? And they told us I used 1,100 hours. I used 1,100 hours. So I take 1,100 times 8, and that's 8,800. So difference between 9,600 and 8,800, my standard quantity, I spent less than I should have, so it's favorable. And it's favorable by $800, so my variance is favorable by $800. Moving on, this is question number 9. And question number 9 is looking for a rate variance. And a rate variance is on the left-hand side, so I'm going to be comparing the actual quantity and the actual price to the actual quantity and the standard price. Notice this makes a lot of sense. I'm just changing the price to find out a rate variance. Standard rate was $10.20 per hour. Actual quantity of hours worked, actual hours worked were 1,000 hours. So that's 10,200. Actual hours worked were 1,000. Actual price, total cost, well they told us that was $10 10,600. So we actually spent 10,600. We should have spent 10,200, so that's a $400 difference. Because we spent more than we should, it is unfavorable. So it is a $400 unfavorable variance. This is question number 10. Oops. Let's go back to question number 10. And I'm looking for a rate variance. So once again, I'm looking for that left-hand side. Total actual is 45,375, and that's my actual quantity, my actual price. I'm looking to compare that to my standard quantity. Pardon me, I'm looking to compare that to the actual quantity. Standard price. So I'm looking for my standard price. Standard variable overhead rate is $13.45 per hour. Each unit takes a total of 5 hours. And we produced, actual hours worked, they told us that. Actual hours worked were 3,300. So the actual hours worked, all I have to do is take the 3,300. And so I have 3,300 times 1345, which is 44,385. Actually, I spent 45,300, so I spent more than I should have to produce that amount. So it's an unfavorable variance, and it happens to be $990, the difference. So it's a $990 unfavorable variance. So that is the correct answer. And the last question is question number 11. And for question number 11, I'm looking for an efficiency variance, so I'm looking for a quantity variance. So I've got to worry about my standard quantity. Whoops. Got to worry about my Got to worry about my standard quantity and my standard price. Okay. And I need to compare that to my actual quantity and my standard price. So, and I'm looking for variable overhead. Okay. So each unit takes 0.8 of an hour. I produced, my actual output was 9,000 hours. Okay. And the rate is $4 per hour. So I'd have 0.8 times 9,000, that happens to be 7,200, times 0.4 is 28,800. So that's what I have there. My actual quantity and my standard price. Well, the actual amount of hours that I worked, actual direct labor hours, were 7,870. My standard price is still $4. Keep in mind that's $4, not 0.4. Okay, so it's $4. And so I've got 7,870 times 4, so that's 31,480. Should have spent 28,800, actually spent 31,480. That is unfavorable, and it is unfavorable by $2,680. So I have a $2,680 unfavorable variance. That concludes the quiz for Chapter 10. If you should have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Thank you.